the manifestation of everything. So I was just wondering, it would make sense that it would be called kol, but I also see that it has a relation with the, like the pipe where the spiritual world uh, can access the manifestation. So I understood the meaning of call, but just one was wondering about this, this relation between Malchut and Yesod.
Yes. Thank you. It's a great question because in the word Malchut, there is also the letters Kaf and Lamed, which is also called. So if already Malchut even contains the letters of Kaf and Lamed, which is called, why the Yesod is associated with Kol? This is the question, Felipe. If I open it
Yes.
to the depth, yes, yeah. Why Yesod is being called in Hebrew Kol, which means all? Because Yesod, the foundation, holds all the abundance. And then it streams it to Malchut, heavenly kingdom, which is called Kala, bride. How do we write bride in Hebrew? Kaf Lamed, which is called the letters of Yesod, plus additional Hey, and then we have Kala, bride. So Yesod, or foundation, is being called Kol, Kaf Lamed. And Malchut, heavenly kingdom, is called Kala. What is Kala? Kol, everything, inclusive, where it appears in the Hey, in the bride. So Kala is a composition of two, let's say, parts. Kaf and Lamed, which is Kol, all, and Hey. Kol and Hey, Kala. Inclusive, that includes everything. Yes? Yes. And this is why also Abraham, it's good that you ask about it, because Abraham is asked to be innocent at the age of 99. Yes, 99 is the difference between heaven and earth. Shamaim, 390, Aretz, 291. And the difference between Shamaim and Aretz is 99. And being is asked him, walk in front of me or before me and be innocent. התהלך לפניי והיה תמים, and be innocent. And from this, Abraham understood he has to circumcise himself. What is to go in front of or before? And this is the question, and also what is innocent? Usually what we do all the time, what the brain does is calculating, like a detective, yes? Goes after someone, so to speak, see the footprint, footsteps, see fragments, calculate, think, try to build a complete picture from the fragments. Yes? So we are like spies, all of us. Yes? We always go with this magnifying glass to see how life is against us and why here it should have been this way instead of that way. We're calculating. We are like wise, uberwise, overwise, because we have this illusion that we can calculate everything and we can prove anything by calculation. This is a linear thinking. So at the age of 99, and this is the difference between heaven and earth, he is asked to be innocent. Don't calculate. Don't try to conceive any calculation. Don't try to apply any mathematic of any kind. Be innocent and go before me or in front of me, not after me. Mm, God stole from me, should have been behaved differently, and so on. Go in front, innocently, without calculating after. Yes? This is the innocent. Don't try to apply any calculation about life. It's impossible. And is requested to circumcise himself. Where is the circumcision? In Yesod, in all. Kol. Because twice kol, kal, is calculation. Stop the calculation. And this is the covenant. The covenant between infinite and us is very simple. Just cut and stop the calculation because you can't. It is just impossible to conceive. This is the meaning of Brit. This is the meaning of the covenant. Just stop calculating. From here, it's impossible for you to cross. You will never understand. It's impossible to conceive. And this is the covenant. The covenant of rest. Yeah? Brit Menucha. Brit Menucha. Because as long as we are calculating, or as long as calculation is happening, what is happening? It's like kind, tick tack. Look, double it in 3, double it in 4, double it in 6, double it in 10, 2, 2, 2. There's all the time going and haggling. Yes? And there's no rest. Tick tack, tick tack, tick tack. Try to apply this mathematics, no, this mathematics, this matrix, this, that. Is it enough? This is the covenant of rest, because it's impossible to calculate. And this is so. Where is the covenant? In kol, in a calculation. Calculation stops. It is impossible to conceive this divinity. It stops. Then there's a rest. And there's a connection between the groom and the bride. The groom and the bride is not just male and female. It's just infinite in the manifestation. Because as long as the mind or the brain comes and intervenes and calculates, it just stops everything, the streaming. Once there is a rest, there's a cut, everything can stream. This is why Abraham is asked to be innocent. Innocent because innocent is not calculating anything. Baby does not calculate anything. He's incapable of calculating. It's just innocent. He's a baby. So it's like being a baby. And then we learn also that the value of innocent is 490, like Bethlehem. Yes, with the additional 10, or without a 0, it is 49, is the Jubilee. This is 7 times 7, and then there's a rest. There's like a transit move to the coming world. The next world, the next moment, we cannot never calculate. So there's a jubilee in this. Many, let's say, topic that the Bible mentions are going through this bridge. Because it's 49, it's the jubilee, 7 times 7, 7 weeks, yes, between Passover and Shavuot. Yes, Felipe.
Eti, just we were talking. Rodrigo and I were talking this evening, this week, last week, and it came this topic of the 7, and it's interesting because sorry to change a bit the topic, but the topic is only one, right? And we were seeing the parasha from this week, and wondering about the moment Jacob rests his head in the rock, in the stone, and he goes out from Beersheba, and this Beersheba, the seventh well, which was um, uh, don't know the word, was uh, pulled out from Isaac. It was Isaac that um just made the well, and Abraham. I mean, it was Abraham. Then Isaac reopened it, right? Not sure about it, right? But it's interesting this aspect of being out of the seventh well, uh, and he, after this seventh well, everything comes to Jacob, the four wives, the children, uh, and the tribes, and everything that happens. The more important things uh, are beginning in this moment of the leaving of Beersheba, sleeping in this rock, putting the head, the hosh in the rock, in the stone. And after these 7 years, he waits for Rachel. There are more 7 years, and so on. And he crosses again the Yabok River. There is all this story, um, and we were just realizing that it begins in Beersheba. So I was wondering what would you think about it?
Yes, thank you. He leaves Beersheba. Yes, Vayetze Yaakov mi Beersheba. He goes out from the known world, from the world which is known to him. He leaves the country, he leaves the house of his parents, everything which is known to him. So to leave the world as we know it. And he goes to the unknown. He doesn't know how long is the way. Good afternoon, Abigail. Happy to see you here. So he leaves the world as he know it, the world of the parents, Beersheba, all what he had learned. Good evening, Yanis. And he goes to the unknown. He's supposed to go to his uncle, but he doesn't know how the way will be. He's quite afraid. He also makes an oath. He swears because he's not sure he's going to make it. And there's no protection. There's no, let's say, tour guide that helps him moving from one place to another. He's on his own. And then he has this dream. So he leaves Beersheba, he leaves the world as it is known to him until that time, and he goes to the unknown. This is the weekly portion. Vayetze Yaakov mi Beersheba. Yes, from the known to the unknown. This is the weekly portion. He doesn't know yet that he will see uh, Rachel. He doesn't know that all the worlds which are waiting for him to reveal. Yes, 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 it is. It is. So he leaves the 7 to go to the 50, to the Binah if you want. Yes. Thank you, Felipe. Good afternoon, Abigail, and good evening, Yanis. We are so happy to see you here. I would like to ask if you have any question or any sharing, yes, before we continue with the Sefer HaBahir. Do you have any question, Yanis? Abigail, please feel free to ask about any topic that you like. Everything is open. So we shall continue with Mark 13. ועוד ישב רבי בון ודרש. And more said Rabbi Bon and taught. My dichtiv, what is it which is written, Isaiah, יוצר אור ובורא חושך, creates light. Creates, we say in English, יוצר is from יצירה. So this is the, maybe it has to do with Surah and forms light, and ובורא חושך, and creates darkness. So now Rabbi Bon teaches. My dichtiv, what is it which is written in Isaiah? יוצר אור ובורא חושך, forms light and creates darkness. אלא אור שיש בו ממש. But light that there is reality in it. כתיב, that is what is written in it, יצירה, formation. Creativity we say in English, but I would like to stay close to the Hebrew. Yetzirah, we usually translate it as creative, but it comes from tzura and tsar and narrow, so form. Yes? Choshech, she'en bo mamash. Darkness, that there is no reality in it. Ktiv, it is written in it, bria, creation. Kama de'at amar, as you say, Amos 4:13, יוצר הרים, forms mountains, ובורא רוח, form mountains and creates spirit or wind. So far so good. There is a new question that Rabbi Bon asked about one verse from Isaiah. What is it which is written? יוצר אור ובורא חושך. Why this combination of words? Why to say יוצר אור? To form light, it comes from צרה and צורה. Tzara is also trouble, a narrow place. So why it is appear in this combination, יוצר אור, like the light comes from a form, from a narrow part, but it is written ובורא חושך, and creates darkness. Why is this combination appears? יוצר אור ובורא חושך. אלא, but, אור שיש בו ממש. But light that has reality in it. כתיב בו, it is written in it, יצירה, meaning in every place, yes, that there is reality of light, it says יצירה. Good morning, Fernando. Again, in every place, space, that there is light in it, we called it יצירה, formation. This is what Rabbi Bon teaches us. Shabbat Shalom. חושך, darkness, שאין בו ממש. That there is no reality in it. כתיב ב, it is written in it, בריאה, creation. כמה דעת אמרת, as you say, עמוס 4:13, יוצר הרים, forms mountains, ובורא רוח, and creates wind or spirit. Rabbi Bon says, from just reading the words in the way they are structured in a sentence, he learns from the structure, from the language, how the language speaks. He learns a lot, and this is why, or this is what he is trying to teach us. He says, in Yetzirah, there's light in it, there's reality in it. Therefore, in Amos, we find the same structure like in Isaiah, because in Amos 4:13, we find the same structure. Yotzer Harim forms mountains. And he says, light, it has reality, we can see it. Yes, Yotzer Harim, but Uvore Ruach, and creates wind. Ve'i ba'et ema, and if you will say, or sheyesh bo asiya, a light that has doing in it, dichtiv, that it what it is written, like it is written in Genesis 1:3, Vayomer Elohim yehi or, and God said, let there be light. Ve'en havaya, and there's no being, ela al yedei asiya, but by doing. Choshech delo have be'asiya. In darkness, there is not doing in it. Kelomar, delo ktiv be'asiya. In darkness, we don't find the verb or the word asiya, which is doing. Next to the word darkness, we usually find another verb, havdalah, distinguish, vehafrasha, separation. So how Rabbi Bon learns the difference between light and darkness according to the verbs which the Bible uses next each term. Yes? What is light? Vayomer Elohim yehi or. And God said, let there be light. Ve'en havaya, and there's no being. Ela al yedei asiyah, but by doing. And he continues, what is the difference between light and darkness? In light there is being, and through the being, the action or the doing moves. But in darkness, choshech dela have be'asiyah. In darkness there is no doing. Klomar delo ktiv be'asiyah. In darkness, or next to the word darkness, we don't find in the semantic fields, in the orders of words in the Bible, we don't find next to darkness the word doing. But havdalah, distinction, v'hafrasha, separation, only. Therefore, we read in it bria. Yes? Now he teaches us why do we use the word bria, creation, only in the context of darkness. Because in creation, there's only a distinction, a separation. Yes? It's not an active power. It is what it is not. Yes? Darkness, it what it is not. Yes? Light is the being. This is what it is. Kema de'at amar, as you say, hivri ploni. When we, and now he uses a bit of Aramaic, but he says, as you say, now he gives an example. What is the meaning of darkness? When we say that somebody healed Hivri, he healed. Ploni is someone, anonymous. Yes, we don't want to mention the name, we say anonymous in Aramaic. Yes? So now he gives an example. Yes? When we say that someone healed, Hivri Ploni. This is not light. Healing is what? It is a distinction. Yes? It is creation. Do we understand how he goes? What he wants to tell us about healing? Do we understand, or shall we repeat the course of thinking? Do you have any questions? Would you like to continue? Would you like to reread it? Yes, Felipe.
It was I could understand that formation. Yetzirah, it is the light in a vessel already being formed, and Bria would be just a distinction, like an initial distinction between light and darkness. Is this correct?
Yes, yes, yes. Information in the formation. Yes, in Yetzirah, there is activity, or the being is present, and it is by doing. Like we say, let's say there is like waterfall, so the water are falling. Yes, is the being in the falling of the water. Yes, this is light.
Like we were speaking about this word, for instance, in Portuguese, when we speak about Binah, we say intelligence. It's what how it is translated most cases, but we always translate it as understanding, right? And just this word in English, it denotes like being in the shade of like a tent or something under, standing under something, which it's already an action, a form, a vessel for the light. It would be an example of this?
Not yet, not in this. We shall read it again and again, but because now you try to connect it to another. Yes, but let's stay and understand, not understand, but let's be with this stream and see what he wants to say. So, Ve'od Yashav, so I repeat, this is Mark 13, because he wants to show us how they read the Bible. How do they read the Bible? According to the order of the words in the verse. There's a semantic field. Let's say, if we go in the field and you find an oak tree, and next to the oak tree there's iris. So there's an oak and iris. And if we go to another field, do we find oak and iris together? Just an example. This is how he reads the Bible. This is how all of them, and when they read parallel verses, that in every verse that they read, in this case Isaiah and then Amos, there's an oak and next to it there's iris. They want to show us why we find this appearance twice, and why this appearance of oak and iris, yes, or yotzer or uvore choshech, what it unfolds. Why do we see oak and iris together? So let's see what Rabbi Bon say. ועוד ישב רבי בון ודרש. And more, said Rabbi Bon ודרש, taught. My dichtiv, what is it which is written in Isaiah? Yotzer or uvore choshech, forms light and creates darkness. אלא אור שיש בו ממש. אור שיש בו ממש. Light that there is reality in it. What is reality? Mamash. What is mamash? Lemamesh, something that you can even feel with the fingers, with the heart. This is יוצר אור. כתיב בו יצירה. So, ועוד ישב רבי בון ודרש, and more said Rabbi Bon and taught. What is it which is written in Isaiah? יוצר אור, forms light, ובורא חושך, and creates darkness. אלא אור שיש בו ממש, but light that there is reality in it. כתיב בו יצירה, in a light that there is what? Reality in it. Next to the light we find the word יצירה, from tsar, צורה, formation. Yes, but he doesn't say but חושך. There's a difference between light and darkness, but חושך, שאין בו ממש. Darkness has no reality. כתיב ב, it is written next to it, or in it, בריאה, creation. כמה דעת אמר, as you say in the book of Amos 4:13, יוצר הרים, forms mountains, ובורא רוח, and creates wind. Now he makes distinction between the two. Light has reality. Darkness has no reality. Because like the wind, he says, בורא רוח. Sometimes there's a wind. After a single moment, there's no wind. Where's the reality? It's gone. Or יש בו ממש. So this is the first distinction. Reality and not reality. Yes? This is the first distinction. Now, we continue. Ve'i ba'et eima. And if you will say, now he is also going in front of us and he is playing also the student of himself. And if you will say, as hearing, if we are hearing him now, because this is his words, and if we shall say, and if we shall ask, או שיש בו עשייה, דכתיב, a light that has doing in it. It is written in Genesis 1:3, ויאמר אלוהים יהי אור. Light that has doing it, it is written about it in Genesis 1:3, ויאמר אלוהים יהי אור, and God said, let there be light. ואין הוויה, there's no being, אלא על ידי עשייה. There's no being by doing. Doing cannot happen if the being is not dressed and animates the doing. Someone can stand and wash the dishes. We shall say he's washing. Without the being moving through him, no movement could have happened. No breath, no soaping the dishes, no nothing. He could not stand. So, ואין הוויה אלא על ידי עשייה, and there's no being but by doing. But we say in brackets, there's no doer. The doing is happening. Someone is driving. But without the being, as a first condition, no driving, no swimming, no flying, nothing. חושך, darkness, דלא הווה בעשייה. In darkness, there is no doing. There is no, in other words, happening. כלומר, לא, דלא כתיב בעשייה. In or next to the word darkness, חושך, we don't find the word doing. But Havdalah, distinction, and God, yes, Vayavdel Elohim, there's only distinction. Yes, whenever we find the word darkness, we don't find doing. Let's say, Vayomer Elohim yehi or, vayehi or. This is a doing. There is a speaking happening. This is light. This is reality. Yes, but next to darkness, we don't find any action. But distinction, it is not. Yes? כלומר, דלא כתיב בעשייה, in darkness, there is no doing next to it written, but distinction, והפרשה, and separating, to decide, only. Krebe, therefore, we're reading in it or related to darkness, creation. Therefore, there is no active happening. We call it what? Creation, because there's only distinction in it. The book of Zohar even continues further and says, what is Bria or what is Bore? Bore usually is translated to creator. And the book of Zohar says, what is Bore? Bo ure'eh, come and see what darkness. This is creation. Everything is darkness. Kema de'at amar, like now he really goes wild, yes? Kema de'at amar, as you say, hivri ploni, someone recovered or someone healed. Now, recovery or healing, according to Rabbi Bon, is associated with what? Light or darkness? Question, open question, recovery, healing is associated with what? Light or darkness? Yes, Felipe. According, so far, Yanis, Fernando, Abigail, and Felipe. Rabbi Bon sits and teaches us, or teaching us, ing is teaching us. Now, he opens one session and then second, and then he bundles the teaching and says, as you say, someone had recovered or someone has healed. So, what kind of an example, yes, is happening here when someone is recovered? Please listen to the word recover, hivri. I will write the letters hivri, recovered or healed. And you tell us all, let's be patient and listen to Rabbi Bon. Hivri, this is, yes, hivri, recover or healed. Look at the letters and tell us, hivri, which stem letters are appearing in recovery? Which, yes, do you recognize the letters of healing? Yes. Which familiar letters do you find? Yes, in the word hivri, which means healed, recovered. Do you recognize familiar letters? Please pay attention to the fact. Yes, Felipe says bara. Yes, yes. So, to which? Yes. So, you say bara. Yes, bara. Let's take the first example because the letters appears in the order. Let's take the verse from Isaiah. יוצר אור ובורא חושך, forms light and creates בורא. Excellent, Yanis, like בריאה. Excellent. Hivri is like בריאה. Recovered. Hivri is like בריאה, like a new creation. But, yes, but what Rabbi Bon is trying to tell us, Hivri, recovered in English, is passive. Yes? It is passive. Hivri. And Hivri or בורא חושך. So the darkness in a way removed and he could heal. So recovery and healing are associated with what? With light or darkness? Yes. According to Rabbi Boon, here in this text, Mark 13, in this text. Yes? Hivri, he recovered from bara, because in Isaiah we find the terminology יוצר אור, forms light, ובורא חושך, and creates darkness, creates בורא, yes, from bara חושך. And Hivri recovered. And he says, in darkness we don't find the doing or the being. Being is not active. Yes, in darkness. And the only words that we find next to darkness is what? Distinguishing, separating. So there is a distinction that happens when someone is recovered. It is very deep because usually people do not speak like that. Recovery, it means to remove or to have a separation from something that has no reality. Recovery, yes, is to remove or to heal. To have a distinction, yes, from something that has no reality. Questions so far? This is very deep. This is very, very, very deep. This is why whenever we read a segment from Sefer HaBahir, only what the text says, not what we read and so on, what he is trying to say. Otherwise, there is no sense to read it. Only go into the text box and the teaching. And in the moment that we read the teaching, it is alive, it is living. This is Yotzer Or, the formation of light, the reading of it. It has reality. Questions Abigail, Fernando, Yanis, Felipe. You can unmute and speak. Recovery, yes, Yanis is writing. Recovery is to remove that which has no reality. This means sickness has no reality. Excellent. Excellent. Yes, there's a teaching also in Hebrew about patience. Patient in Hebrew. Chole, chole, that it is 49. Yes. And he just need the another one to be healed. The Jubilee. Yes. Chole. Yes. But this is a different field. Now we're speaking about Rabbi Bon and the teaching. And the teaching. Sickness, again, has no reality. I don't think that in modern medicine we shall find this definition. Questions so far? Fernando, Yanis, Abigail, Felipe. I wish they would teach it or even read the text in kindergarten, in schools, in elementary school. Just thank you so much for being here with us today, Yanis, Abigail, Zeno, Fernando, Felipe. This is so deep, and I'm so happy that we can share those moments together. Thank you so much. תודה רבה, ושבוע טוב לכולם. להתראות ביום שני. See you on Monday. להתראות.